Florida's condo market crash in 2025 is sending shockwaves across the state. Prices aren't just dipping slightly. They're collapsing by 25%, 30%, and even 32% in some of the most desirable cities that seemed untouchable only 2 years ago. Families who purchased at peak prices now find themselves deeply underwater, watching equity vanish while their financial future grows uncertain. Retirees, once drawn by the promise of affordable coastal living, are facing crippling expenses from rising insurance premiums and rapidly increasing HOA fees. At the same time, inventory is surging as sellers rush to exit, yet demand has all but dried up. With fewer buyers in the market, condos are sitting unsold while the cost of ownership continues to climb higher than ever. What was once marketed as the ultimate Florida dream has turned into a financial nightmare for many. This is Nest Abroad channel, and today we're breaking down the top 10 Florida cities where the condo market is collapsing in 2025. Stick with us until the end to see which city takes the #1 spot. And if you're looking for more straight talk housing updates, make sure to hit subscribe. Let's dive right in. Number 10, Ocala, the quiet inland city better known for its horse farms than real estate crashes. Once considered a safe haven away from Florida's coastal volatility, Ocala's condo market is now facing a steep decline. Prices that peaked around $220,000 have dropped to $160,000, a 27% fall. Inventory has surged 62%, yet buyers have all but disappeared. With mortgage rates hovering near 7%, even modest condos cost more than $1,300 per month before utilities, pricing out households earning under $60,000. Inland properties once thought low risk are now feeling the same pressure from new reserve laws, costly repair mandates, and soaring insurance premiums, jumping from $1,800 to over $5,000 annually. Special assessments of $10,000 or more are further straining local owners, many of whom cannot absorb unexpected costs. Investors, once drawn by steady rental potential, are watching returns evaporate as expenses outweigh income. Small business owners who used pandemic savings to purchase first-time investment condos are now struggling to cover carrying costs. Retirees who downsized from coastal areas for affordability are discovering inland living offers no financial safety net. HOA boards, often managed by volunteers, are overwhelmed by angry owners, mounting bills, and vacancies. Some complexes are already seeing owners walk away, leaving associations scrambling to fill budget gaps. Realtors report the market has shifted dramatically from bidding wars to silence. Ocala's crash is quieter than Florida's coastal collapses, but no less devastating. A clear warning that affordability issues extend far beyond the shoreline. Number 9, Orlando, the city of Disney, dreams now facing a condo nightmare. During the pandemic boom, condo prices climbed close to $310,000. Today, they hover near $230,000, a 25% drop. Listings have nearly doubled, with more than 3,500 units sitting unsold. Rising costs are crushing buyers. HOA fees range from $600 to $1,000 per month, while insurance premiums have doubled since 2021. What once cost $1,800 a month now exceeds $2,600 for a two-bedroom near downtown. Tourism hasn't saved the market. The Airbnb rush led to oversaturation, with occupancy rates barely hitting 50% and nightly prices declining. Florida's new structural inspection laws are adding $10,000 to $20,000 in special assessments per unit, pushing lenders to step back. Even cash buyers are demanding steep discounts. Once one of the fastest-moving condo markets in Florida, Orlando has flipped into freefall. In 2021 and 2022, complexes sold out within weeks to investors betting on non-stop tourism. Now, for sale, signs line International Drive, where many short-term rentals sit half-empty. Homeowners depending on Airbnb income are taking monthly losses, while locals, teachers, healthcare staff, hospitality workers are priced out entirely. Developers are stalling projects, waiting for construction costs and insurance to stabilize. Orlando's collapse is symbolic. It proves that even America's tourism capital isn't immune. When affordability breaks, not even the happiest place on earth can defy the realities of Florida's housing market. Number 8. Sarasota, once the crown jewel of Florida's Gulf Coast real estate market. Known for its white sand beaches, vibrant art scene, and luxury waterfront condos, Sarasota attracted retirees, investors, and vacation homebuyers from around the world. But in 2025, Sarasota's condo market is crashing, and fast. Condos that sold for $600,000 in 2022 are now struggling to sell for $420,000, marking a 30% price drop. Inventory has surged more than 65% year over year, flooding the market as sellers slash prices just to compete. Rising costs are making ownership nearly impossible. Insurance premiums have tripled to over $9,000 annually, while HOA fees and reserve mandates push monthly costs above $1,200 before mortgage payments. On top of that, surprise special assessments of $20,000 to $50,000 per unit are scaring away buyers and overwhelming retirees on fixed incomes. The investment side looks no better. Rental yields, once attractive at 7%, have plunged below 3%, causing investors to back off. Downtown Sarasota's luxury condo projects, once symbols of prestige, now sit as warnings of overvaluation. Realtors report slower sales, with showings dragging on for weeks, while developers quietly offer heavy discounts to move unsold units. Even local banks are tightening lending, demanding large down payments or avoiding loans on older buildings altogether. Out-of-state buyers, once eager, are now walking away. Sarasota isn't just cooling, it's undergoing a dramatic correction, a harsh reminder that Florida's condo boom has turned into a full-scale housing market crash. Number 7. Bradenton, just north of Sarasota, where the condo market is in full retreat. Prices that nearly reached $400,000 in 2022 have now plunged below $280,000, a 30% drop. Inventory is up 70% with more than 1,500 listings crowding the MLS, as oversupply collides with unaffordable ownership costs. HOA dues now range from $500 to $900 a month, while insurance bills that once averaged $2,800 per year have soared past $7,000. With mortgage rates near 7%, monthly carrying costs often exceed $2,200, making renting a cheaper and safer option. Investors are fleeing the market as Airbnb occupancy falls below 55% and nightly rates sink by 20%. Many pre-construction buyers are even abandoning deposits rather than closing on overpriced units. Bradenton's appeal as a retirement destination is also fading. Relocating retirees are realizing they can rent comparable condos in North Carolina or Tennessee for half the price, drying up what was once a steady pipeline of buyers. Units are sitting vacant for months as flippers get stuck paying inflated HOA fees on properties they can't move. Local realtors describe the market as a traffic jam of listings, with sellers racing to exit before prices sink further. Developers who launched projects in 2021 now face higher loan costs, unsold inventory, and shrinking demand. Unlike 2008, the problem isn't reckless lending. It's runaway cost of living inflation that's dismantling Bradenton's once promising condo market from the inside out. Number 6. West Palm Beach, where the limits of luxury living are now on full display. Median condo prices have fallen from $400,000 in 2022 to around $300,000 today, a sharp 25% decline. Insurance premiums in coastal towers have tripled to $12,000 annually, while HOA fees have doubled to $1,000 a month. Add surprise assessments of $30,000 to $40,000 per unit, and many retirees are walking away. Airbnb returns have collapsed as occupancy dips below 50% and nightly rates fall 15%. Lenders are increasingly unwilling to finance buildings with deferred maintenance, leaving sellers slashing prices week after week. Just 2 years ago, West Palm Beach was marketed as the new Miami. Now, open houses sit empty, and buyers are waiting for deeper discounts. The downturn feels almost theatrical. Luxury towers that once hosted champagne launch parties now sit half-lit at night, with unsold units and absent investors. High-end buyers are negotiating 20% below asking and getting it. International capital, which once flooded Palm Beach County, is flowing north into newer, better-insured developments. Longtime residents feel betrayed as emergency assessments hit, forcing HOAS to cover critical repairs like elevators and roofs under Florida's stricter laws. On fixed incomes, many simply can't keep up. Meanwhile, local tourism has softened, leaving short-term rentals overbuilt and underbooked. Younger professionals are shifting toward renting upscale apartments instead of buying. West Palm Beach hasn't lost its prestige, but it has lost its affordability. And when luxury slows, the entire market beneath it begins to shake. Number 5. Jacksonville, proving that even Florida's largest city isn't immune to the condo downturn. Median prices have dropped from $230,000 to $180,000, a 22% decline, while inventory has surged 60%. The financial math no longer adds up, with HOA dues near $400 a month, annual insurance at $4,000, and higher mortgage rates. Monthly ownership costs now exceed $1,700. Renting, by comparison, averages $1,400, leaving buyers with little incentive to purchase. Out-of-state investors from New York and California, who helped fuel Jacksonville's boom, are now unloading units. More than a third of listings show price cuts, and downtown condo projects once seen as catalysts for revival are offering concessions just to attract interest. Even newer developments are struggling as lenders shy away from older buildings under Florida's stricter structural rules. What makes Jacksonville's crash sting is its speed. Long considered a steady growth market thanks to its diverse economy, military presence, and tech expansion, the city seemed insulated from volatility. But higher borrowing costs shattered that illusion. Buyers who locked in at 3% rates in 2021 now face 40% higher payments at 7%, trapping many in negative equity. Developers have paused new projects, downtown revitalization efforts have stalled, and even St. John's River waterfront properties are suffering under soaring insurance costs. Optimism has been replaced with caution. Realtors say the first question buyers now ask isn't about square footage, it's about insurance. Jacksonville's safe market reputation has officially collapsed. Number 4. Cape Coral, once the poster child of Florida's pandemic housing boom. Waterfront condos that doubled in value within 3 years have now suffered a brutal correction. Median prices have plunged from $340,000 to $240,000, a 30% loss. While inventory has surged, 95% insurance premiums for waterfront units have exploded, climbing from $3,500 in 2020 to more than $10,000 today. Ownership costs are crushing retirees and investors alike. HOAs run $600 to $900 per month, with special assessments of $20,000 to $30,000 for flood protection. Airbnb investors are underwater as occupancy rates fall below 45%, and rental income that once hit $3,000 a month now struggles to reach $1,600. Post-Hurricane Ian, flood zone fears and rising FEMA maps have only deepened buyer hesitation. The speed of the shift is shocking. During the boom, listings vanished in days as cash buyers bid tens of thousands over asking. Today, for sale signs line the canals, sitting untouched. Realtors report showing the same units repeatedly with no offers, while developers face stalled projects and shrinking demand. Even local businesses, contractors, insurers, and property managers are feeling the ripple effects. Many insurance firms have pulled out of high-risk zones, forcing owners onto expensive, state-backed plans. Cape Coral's story is no longer one of endless growth, but a cautionary tale of climate risk, inflation, and speculation colliding. The tide has gone out, and it has exposed just how vulnerable Florida's waterfront condo market truly is. Number 3. Tampa, a city whose skyline once symbolized unstoppable growth but now reflects a housing market under pressure. Median condo prices have dropped from $310,000 to $230,000, a 25% decline. Bayshore high-rises that once sold for $600,000 are now struggling to fetch $400,000. Inventory has surged 85% with over 4,000 active listings, the highest since the Great Recession. Ownership costs are crushing. HOA fees have more than doubled to around $1,000, while Bayfront insurance premiums have tripled to $9,500 annually. That pushes monthly ownership above $2,400, far out of reach for a city with a median household income of $70,000. Short-term rentals are collapsing as Airbnb occupancy falls below 50% and nightly rates sink 20%. Nearly 40% of listings now show price cuts. Developers are scrambling to offer incentives, closing credits, furniture packages, even 1 year of free HOA fees. But confidence is cracked, and when confidence fades, prices follow. The psychological shift is clear. During the pandemic, Tampa became a magnet for remote workers, corporations, and cash investors who believed the city had endless momentum. Now, optimism has turned to anxiety. Cranes that once dotted the skyline are slowing. Buyers are realizing affordable luxury no longer exists, and new FEMA flood maps and stricter inspection laws have made ownership feel riskier. Tampa prided itself on resilience, but resilience now comes with a price. For thousands of condo owners, that price is proving unsustainable. Number 2. Pensacola, once the pride of Florida's Panhandle, and now ground zero in the state's condo collapse. Once celebrated as an affordable coastal gem with military stability and small city charm, Pensacola is reeling from one of Florida's steepest housing declines. Median condo prices that peaked around $310,000 in 2022 have dropped to $215,000, a 31% crash that's erased years of equity and left hundreds of owners underwater. Inventory has surged 90% year over year, flooding the market with listings that sit unsold. Sellers are slashing tens of thousands off asking prices, but buyers have disappeared. Ownership costs are spiraling out of control. HOA fees that were $400 now run $800, while insurance premiums for waterfront condos have tripled to more than $7,000 annually. With 7% mortgage rates, monthly costs now exceed $2,200 in a city where the median household income is just $60,000. Investors have fled as well. Airbnb occupancy has fallen below 50%, nightly rates are down 20%, and long-term rents no longer cover expenses. Developers are stuck with unsold projects as lenders refuse loans for older complexes that fail Florida's new reserve requirements. Aging condos face special assessments of $20,000 to $40,000 per unit, pushing many owners to sell or simply walk away. Pensacola's fall is particularly painful because it represented Florida's middle-class dream: affordable, stable, attainable. But that dream has collapsed under the weight of insurance chaos, soaring fees, and investor flight. The sun still shines over Pensacola Bay, but beneath it lies a market in full reckoning. Number 1, Aventura, once Miami's glittering suburban escape and a magnet for international luxury buyers. Condo prices that peaked near $600,000 in 2022 have now fallen to around $440,000. A sharp 27% decline that has rattled even affluent investors. Inventory has surged nearly 80%, with both waterfront towers and mid-rise buildings sitting unsold for months. The pressure comes not just from falling prices, but skyrocketing costs. Insurance premiums in coastal Broward and northern Miami-Dade have tripled since 2020, topping $12,000 annually for many buildings. HOA fees in luxury towers now exceed $1,200 per month, while new state-mandated reserve requirements are forcing special assessments of $25,000 to $60,000 per unit in older buildings. Aventura's skyline tells the story. Gleaming glass towers once marketed as safe havens for buyers from New York, Venezuela, and Brazil have become financial minefields. Carrying costs now outpace rental income, driving investors away. Airbnb owners are also squeezed as new restrictions and softening demand push occupancy below 50%, with nightly rates down nearly 20%. Even developers are quietly cutting prices, offering closing credits or covering HOA fees just to move inventory. Realtors say confidence has vanished, replaced by hesitation and caution. Aventura was supposed to be insulated by wealth and international demand, but 2025 proves that no market is immune. When insurance spikes, assessments pile up, and yields collapse, even luxury cracks. The problem isn't overbuilding, it's overconfidence. From Sarasota to Deltona, the story is the same. Soaring insurance premiums, aging buildings, stricter safety regulations, and a flood of sellers competing for too few buyers. This isn't just a normal market cycle, it's a structural reset. The sunshine dream may still shine, but today it's math, not the weather, that determines who can stay. You've been watching Nest Abroad channel. For more cinematic breakdowns of America's shifting housing markets, subscribe now and stay tuned, because this storm is still moving.